First thing I just want to say to JC, who's working her tail off with her team, and again, it's what the Big 12 is. We just went through the stretch of the whole same thing. You can play your tails off, but again, the ball bounced certain ways, and you just have to keep fighting. That's what I told our group before the game. We just lost to Baylor, Texas, and Kansas, and they all seem like as soon as you lose one game, you lost 5 of them. That's how they feel. So I can imagine what she's feeling right now. But her team, they play hard, and again, at the end of the day, I think the ball will start to bounce in their way because I know the type of person she is and how hard they work and the character of her team. But I'm just glad our group stepped up and was resilient tonight. We've been getting close and not executing down the stretch, not taking care of the rebounding like we needed to, and I was happy we won the boards tonight. The other thing we were not doing was not playing together. Today we ended up with 13 assists, and games before we were with 6 and 7 and 8 because we were playing as individuals, so we really had a heart-to-heart about those things. But just glad to see that we came together and played together like a group, and happy to get a win. The Big 12 is grueling, and I mean it's just they're talking about 6 or 7 teams in the NCAA tournament right now, over some other leagues, and it's just what it is, especially for us. First time in the league is really tough, but I'll stop rambling and let y'all ask some questions now.
You mentioned resilient. That seemed to really kind of be the key, especially late third quarter, fourth quarter, because they had some streams where they were hitting some shots, and you guys seemed to always have an answer.
Exactly, and that's the thing that we talked about because we hadn't been answering other teams' knockout. Even in the first half, we got down 8 points twice. And I usually take a timeout, or I just said I'm just going to try to ride with them some this time and let them play through it. But one thing we wanted to do was keep pushing in transition so we can get some look, because when that team sets up defensively, they take down the paint. And again, I guess paint points, we end up with 18. But again, I don't know how, because they take away those driving lanes for us and things like that. So we wanted to be able to score in transition. But third quarters has been our Achilles heel. Coming out of there, so we had to put a huge emphasis on just trying to execute as much as we could, keep the ball moving, and have opportunities to at least get a shot, and we call it gas, get a shot, because we'd throw it in the 7th row sometime. So I was really proud of them for that.
I noticed before the game that JC came up and gave you a hug. Can you go into detail on your guys' relationship and how long you've known each other and things like that? Yeah,
it goes back. It goes back to when she was working for our coaches at K-State and Mitty. So again, on the road, you see everybody, and we all recruiting the same kids, and we all have opportunity at the end of July, the end of those days, because, July, you're out recruiting all day, and you only get, a chance to go and grab some McDonald's or go and grab some Uber Eats or something like that. So you see somebody going to grab some coffee and you say, can you grab me one? That kind of stuff. And so that starts a relationship because you're sitting right next to each other all summer. So you start to build that relationship. And so leading up into the Big 12, we had all these meetings, Big 12 meetings, those kind of stuff, things like that. And I really had a chance to know her because now I can sit down and really talk without having to watch kids and watch basketball and things like that. And just, with their family and moving to their new house and, all that kind of stuff. So just a really, really great person, man. And she's going to do some great things with this program.
How big was the early stretch of the fourth quarter? You guys playing some good defense and got a couple of threes, and that really seemed to give you all some breathing room.
Well, I thought it happened on the defensive end first because they kept making threes. That's the thing. We pride ourselves. So the last 3 teams have not made a lot of threes. I think we're giving up like 3 or 4 threes a game. Then you get here, and I'm like, want to lose my mind, and my coach is coming over there, and they're saying, don't lose your mind. We're going to be okay. We just got to take care of the closeouts. So that's the thing that really got us. We wanted to make sure they put a huge emphasis on not letting Hannah be able to go off and get all those points because she's been scoring on everybody. I mean, she buried the Texas post players. She buried the Baylor post players. And I was like, man, I imagine what she's going to do to us. So we put a lot of emphasis on that, and we started giving up the threes. So I thought we made a huge adjustment on the defensive end to match those threes and then be able to take the ball out of Hannah's hand and be able to make everybody else try to be a playmaker from there. The one thing we wanted to do with the threes was just get out there and contest them. You can't control whether they go in and out, but you need to be out there and have a great closeout, get a stick hand up, and have an opportunity just to box them out and try to rebound from there.
Really one of the stories of the game outside of that third quarter was just how many turnovers you were able to force. A lot of them, were just kind of passes out of bounds, shit like that. How do you, coach your team into forcing those turnovers?
Well, we were 11-1 when we forced 25 turnovers or more. We didn't get any traps in the backcourt because Staley is really good with the ball. They were able to get the ball back, and then we would go to deny her the ball back. She was strong enough to go and get it, and then everybody cleared out, so we didn't have a chance to try to press a trap in the backcourt to help us get those turnovers. So we had to do it in the front court. So we're up the line, and we say get your behind to the ball and not let the next pass go. That's why they were able to get some of those back doors. We're up the line so hard that if you can throw back doors like a Princeton offense or a Chin, or you would really beat us because we're up there and we're trained to do that. And, that's on me. That's on me, and that's how we train to be able to do it. But we don't want you to be able to make the pass to the left or the right and want to force you to go in the ball screen stuff. Now, for us, they started throwing the ball to the elbow and then throwing it over us and getting layups. And so now you got to make a huge adjustment. It's a choice as a coach. Do you stay up there or do you get behind? And so we chose to stay up there just because we were already forcing some turnovers. And then we was forcing it to where now they're trying to make one pass and try to score it when that's not their offense. They really wanted to be able to move the ball around, create the best shot going in and out on these skips in the 4-out, 1-in with the spacing. They didn't really want to try to throw it in there unless it was just going to handle to try to score it.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. This is one of the best media rooms ever.